We're back, my lady.
Oh, you're back a lot sooner than I expected.
Actually, we are still...
I see.
Something like that.
You all look a little dispirited. Whatever you found, why don't you discuss it with me?
It's okay, my lady. It's...
So something is wrong. On any other day, Paimon would have already waved...
My lady, please...
The master, okay? My father has been supplying goods to Dagon.
Yeah, I've never doubted the Master's integrity. Maybe he's not actually aware of the full story, and just...
I can't help but agree.
Huh? You mean...
Thank you for sharing all this. Since you've told me everything you know, in the past, I thought that my father hired a bodyguard for me. However, there are plenty of capable mercenaries in the Corps of Third.
About that. Well, the Homayani's later, the Master told me that I was one of the best mercenaries. He offered me a pile of mora, so I just signed.
Well, but that didn't really answer my question.
Maybe the Corps of 30 just didn't have anyone available, or... I think I get what you're saying. You think...
Precisely. At first glance, nothing seemed strange or out of place. But if my father had always been in contact with the Khan al-Akmar, then it would make sense for him to bring Dia into our house.
You mean the goal all along was to get Dia to...
No, that's too much of a stretch. I cut all ties with my father a long time ago. He has no control over my life anymore.
But that still doesn't rule out the possibility that your father has still been trying to influence your life without you knowing.
So the Master was not likely an innocent victim in all of this?
Sorry we put all this on you so suddenly.
It's okay, Paimon. I should actually be thanking you. Regardless of his reasons, if my father has truly been funding a violent group of mercenaries, then it's my duty to bring him back to reason.
But is that... My father has committed many atrocities and deserves all the... However, the Homayani... If we decide to investigate this further, we...
Dia...
It's all right, Dia.
You don't have to do that, my lady. I'm not
Hey! It's still too early to give up hope! What was that thing about friendship again? Right, yeah, trust! Besides, there's no point on getting all riled up before we've confirmed...
Thank you, everyone. That makes... In which case, my lady...
Sure thing. I also hope...
Usual?
Thank you for coming, sir. Please allow me to introduce these two. This is the Traveler.
Yes, my daughter. But we may skip all the pleasantries for now. What is the important...
Well, we wanted to bring this transaction record to your attention. There's some...
So, that's what you found? Huh. Seems like...
If you wouldn't mind, we'd like an explanation.
Well, it's a long and difficult story. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure if I'm doing the right thing. What I do know, though, Dia, is that the truth will bring you no solace. If anything, it will likely cause you a great amount of anger.
Wait.
Yes. Understand perfectly, but knowledge always comes at a price. And sometimes, as they say, ignorance is bliss. Your father, Kusela, and I... Of course, you have the right to see. The facts of this matter may reduce everything you've built for yourself. If you must proceed, then Kusela's heartfelt efforts will also fade in...
His heartfelt efforts? I'm sorry, sir, but I'm not sure I follow. I've made it this far in life without a... I have my own ideals and ways of... I came here today to support you.
I understand. Then let me tell you a little story. Our family once needed to take a trip to the desert when Dunyarzad was just a baby. Along the way, we were attacked by bandits. They had superior numbers and quickly overpowered our bodyguard. Those Eremites were Kusela's brigade. Kusela's men told me that the attackers were Eremite mercenaries, just like themselves. Kusela was grinning and walked over to play with baby Dunyarzad. She was startled by...
Really?
He said that he had no particular reason to help us. We started talking about our children and to repay his kindness. I hired his brigade to help out at our estate for a time and offered
So, that's what...
It was many years before I saw him again. I almost didn't recognize him the next time he came. The man I knew to be strong and healthy had...
So, what happened to him? He was perfectly...
I'm not too sure myself. The only thing that didn't change was his cheery disposition. He then suddenly asked me if Dunyarzad, now that she had grown, would need a bodyguard of her own. At the time, Dunyarzad was going through but he kept coming back to the topic. Come on, I was completely lost at first, until he recommended...
So he was the one who
Indeed. He didn't say it out loud, but it was clear that he was already beyond redemption, but if Dia could stay in my house and keep working as a bodyguard...
And that's why you offered her such generous compensation?
Yes, but not just because of that. From the moment that he asked me for that favor, I also began to see Dia as my own daughter. And that's also why I tried to persuade you to... Kusela saved my daughter and I all those years ago in the desert. I could never refuse him entrusting his daughter to me.
He was always like that. Acting like he's oh so smart and self-righteous.
Kusela said that he'd reimburse me for a portion of Dia's fees. I refused to take... Eventually, I just accepted them as a token of... The letter contained a request to help him.
Wait! Isn't that around...
That's right. When I started to hear some nasty rumors, but by then, he was no longer receptive to my That thought occurred to me as well. I figured that he probably came to me for help because he had nobody else to After some deliberation, I decided to send him food and medicine. I turned down all his requests for explosives and weaponry. I am aware that even such a reduced gesture of support could lead to others coming to harm, but I could not simply reject his plea for help. In the end, it probably was the wrong decision.
If you can, please tell... None of the things he's doing right now make... If all he wants to do is steer clear...
Oh no. Dia, please don't feel...
I'm just angry because I can't wrap my head around any of his actions. I don't know, but I guess you do have a point.
I'll do my best to help. Of course, I don't know Kusela's exact whereabouts. However, there's a man on the list named Jawed. He's responsible for supplying weapons and liaising with the Dakan al-Akmar's merchant caravan. I've heard that he likes to have a few drinks alone and
Understood. Thank you, sir.
I'll stay and be with my father here. My father has indeed done something wrong, but I feel like our only course of action is to turn everything we know over to the Core of 30 and let them...
Yes. It's time to face.
Welcome! I hope you'll have a wonderful day.
Who are you guys?
I know what you've been up to. Smuggling weapons to violent brigades in the desert while we're—
Shh! Keep your voice down. How do you know all that? Come with me. We should take this elsewhere. I'll be happy to talk things over once we're somewhere private. This place should do. All right, back to my question. How did you all know about me?
Don't worry about that for now. You know what kind of punishment you'll face once we report you to the Corps.
Wait, there's no need to jump the gun.
So what's in it?
Well, I waited in my mind, and I couldn't find a reason to turn the opportunity down. I wouldn't only be helping my benefactor, but I could also—
Let me tell you how it is. We're investigating Khan al-Akmar, and we're gonna put an end to their operations. If you provide some help for us, then we might just put in a good word later to reduce the terms of your punishment.
Hey, why don't we discuss this a little first?
Shut it. My patience is running out. You should know when a mercenary is—
All right, sheesh. They're always on the move. Feel free to go have a look. I'm just telling you, though, it's not on me if they're not there anymore.
Sure. And then you can forget about any nice words from us.
Hey, come on.
Really? And how do I know you're not leading us straight into a trap? Don't forget, you're the one with no bargaining chips.
All right, I get it. Why don't you go take a look, and if they're not there anymore, I'll try to—
Now that's more like it. Let's move. And as for you, try to stick around the city until we get back. You don't want us to call the folks from the Corps and have them drag you back to the city.